Oh, wait.
Hey,
Shit.
what?
Ah,
What?
fuck.
What'd you do?
Hold on. Maybe I can just plug this in here.
Oh, God.
I forgot the microphone.
The microphone!
The microphone.
What could go wrong here? Okay, that's
Everything.
That's just stupid. Well, I was gonna say, why don't I just bring the little guy back over here?
Or we could do that.
We could put it behind.
That could work.
We'll just bring the guy back over here. Let's just
Bring your guy.
Hold that.
I might need to get on YouTube just to make sure the microphone's actually working.
But what of our adoring fans?
Uh,
There's got to be one.
yeah. Roman, maybe. Oh, look how strong he is.
I'm so strong. I can pick up a 30-pound hassock. Okay. Now we gotta adjust camera view. There we are. Paraphernalias. Pair of finalias.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Stop making it off center. Fuck.
All right.
I said stop making it off center.
Son of a bitch. Rick, that's just more centered on you.
No, but if you actually slide over, it gets literally ever. See, this is how I do this. This is the center of the image. Every time you touch it, it tilts. You know this?
There we go.
Hey!
There we
go. All right.
I had to overdo it to get it to work.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Get on YouTube and make sure the
For
microphone's
God's
working.
sake, fine. Things I do for marriage. Or love. It's not love.
Do anything for podcast, but I wouldn't do that.
You gotta slide over a little bit more. You're like
I
totally
was
off.
just adjusting the fact. All right.
You literally have to slide over. Yeah. Let's see. Team.
Let me just pick my ass up.
All right, here we go. What? No, just go to the goddamn site. Now we gotta get YouTube to. Yeah. I think we're good.
Yay. All right.
Okay.
Well, it's good to know that if I start it, I can plug the mic
yes,
in later.
Yes, way to go. I like that the one viewer is me.
And it's gone.
Let me pull up the rundown.
Pull up the rundown.
All right.
Starring Sean William Scott.
It was a good movie.
It was a good movie.
All right, here we go. And
Here we just call them nuts.
Brazilian nuts.
Yeah. There we go.
There we go.
All right.
All right. What do we got here? Okay.
Boylan.
Welcome, boys and girls, to a very special episode of Wrestle Crush Whenever, starring your favorite Wrestle Crush Whenever hosts, the American Dadass Jesse Long and the Sussman Rick Sussman. This week's episode not brought to you by Boiling Bottling Co. Cane Sugar. Cane Sugar Soda, providing you with the best in cane from Knoxville County.
That's gotta be Kane!
My God, that's Kane's music. Sugar cane. Oh, why did they never do a female Kane?
Oh, or I was gonna say, and that would be a great indie gimmick of a gay Kane named Sugar Cane.
Call me Sugar Cane. Somebody tell Taylor.
Is he our gay wrestling consulate?
He is our wrestling consulate. I mean, we have a lot of friends who are still professional wrestlers to this day.
Yeah.
Only one recognizes us as actual beings. Yeah. Speaking of, might as well get started. Yeah. Jesse Long.
Oh, no, I mean, we're recognized, but maybe not in a good way.
Jesse Long, while we were away, we have been crowned. A doth crowning has happened.
Yes.
We have a new Canoe Wrestling Nerds Radio Network Internet Champion.
We do.
Our former champion, Effie, of course, lost it to our new former champion.
Yes, our second most recent former
champion. No, that's right. Izzy,
yeah.
The 12...
I guess third, you could count Vacant.
Vacant is always a champion. Vacant is the eternal champion. But Izzy won the title fair and square.
Yes.
During a fantastic matchup featuring her, our friend Leva.
She is a chokeslam survivor.
And, of course, the former champion, Effie.
Yes.
Now, Izzy had the most successful title reign.
No one came after her.
No one...
I liken it to when Undertaker was the hardcore champion, you know... It was 24/7. No one came after her.
I actually don't remember that.
There was a time, I think Maven ended up beating the Undertaker for the hardcore title. Remember that?
He does have a fantastic dropkick. Mm-hmm. At any rate, citing zero competition and no reason to continue being champion, Izzy took to the tradition of the internet title and literally threw it in the garbage. This is not the first...
I think she recycled it, though. I do think she recycled.
You don't recycle leather. Anyway, this is not the first and very likely not the last time that our title belt has literally been thrown into the trash.
Yeah.
But our friends... also us at Punk Pro Wrestling.
I found him panhandling.
Yes, true. That's true.
I have a souvenir of his panhandling.
Yes, the
that
title
you can
belt.
Totally read because it's very high contrast.
And not only high contrast, but extraordinarily well done.
No, the belt has way better handwriting than I do.
I was gonna say, and not hastily created in the 3 minutes before filming started.
It was like at least a couple of hours.
I'm not sure I believe that. No. At any rate, there was a Battle Royale at the most recent Punk Pro Wrestling show, which Jesse and I could not attend because we are lazy.
Old.
Does old breed lazy? No, because Chad's a little older than us, and he gets there.
Yeah, but it's like
5 minutes.
It's really close for him. So
yeah, it's really far for us, and really far for us is anything over 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have a new champion.
I'd say just far enough for you is the OLE where the NXT runs now.
Yeah, I don't know.
You gotta cross the streets.
Well, okay.
You gotta go under 1792.
I wasn't planning on even talking about this, but I was invited by friends to go to the NXT show tonight at the OLE.
Is it tonight?
It is today.
Oh, God.
My general reaction was, we'll see. Because here's the thing, man. I don't care. I don't care. We got Wednesday night WWE programming, which we'll get to later, so let's not worry about that.
Anyway, so there was a battle royal between everybody. I don't know. I actually don't know they haven't released the exact results of the show yet.
Yeah, we're actually hoping to do a review of that in upcoming Punk
when
Pros.
the digital copy is out, we're gonna watch it. I do believe I believe it was looked to have been won by one Eddie Torres, of
a reputable champion.
Yeah, a would-be reputable champion, and then our current champion, the absolute worst Drennan, slid all up in there, and he got that belt.
You gotta understand. You gotta recognize.
I gotta through my own fault.
He is the absolute worst.
Okay, good. I understand now. Because I, unfortunately, through fault of my own, I don't follow Drennan, and I didn't know enough about Drennan.
How do you not follow the manager of The End, the most devastating tag team in all of FIP?
I do love The End. The End is great.
Yeah,
Odin's scary.
Odinson is. Here's the thing: Odinson is scary, and somehow the least scary member.
I would say
team.
Pero is like the scarier of the two.
The first time I saw Pero, I was like, this big lug, he's just a push. And then I saw him literally kill someone, and I said, oh, he's not a big lug.
The last time I saw Pero live, he killed his pants.
Well, those pants.
I've known Pero for a long time, and I remember his previous incarnation. He doesn't. It's not like he doesn't hide the fact that he had a previous character before the current character. So it was a bit of a change for me when he became Pero.
Well, I remember I was not really for or against Pero one way or the other until I went to that Total Punk Pro Wrestling show, the first one that happened on Mills Avenue.
Yeah.
And The End came out and just laid waste to everyone. I was like, oh, this is really cool. Yeah. And then at one point, Ref Tony tried to stop them, and Pero shoved him down and literally said...
I love that all the refs that we know, ref is in their name. There's Frankie the ref and Ref Tony.
He shoved him down, and he said, "You get the motherfucker away from me." And I went, oh. oh, this is a big, scary guy.
Yeah.
It did not take much for me to recognize, because when you look at Odinson, you're like, oh, that's a proper pro wrestler. Like, he looks like just
No, he looks like somebody who at any minute could get a developmental contract.
Sure. And when you look at Pero, you're not really sure what to make of him, but when he flips the switch and goes straight anger mania, you don't want to be near him.
Oh yeah.
So Drennan is
good
there.
Old Pero, he was in the NWA national thing, and then
but Drennan is their manager. He is sort of the brains behind the Bronze, but he's also a bit of an accomplished wrestler himself. Yeah. He was the guy who took Effie to the absolute limit at that Total Punk show in a Falls Count Anywhere on Mills Avenue match.
Yes.
He is such a good fit for the internet title because he took an actual scoop slam in the middle of Mills Avenue.
In the middle of 1792.
On the street. The streets, Jesse Long. And he even kicked out at 2.
Of course he did. Well, of course. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does. I hope that he will prove to be a reputable champion.
He will be an awful champion. But that's because he should be.
Yes. Exactly.
We respect you.
Hopefully we'll see maybe the internet title make its way to Total Punk, which is great because it's local for us.
I'm good with it staying at Punk Pro.
Okay.
Here's the reason why.
Why?
They respect it at Punk Pro.
They do respect it.
That said, Total Punk and Punk Pro are kind of...
They're kind of like sister...
Yeah, they're like this.
Twin...
Look how close those are.
Yeah.
They move like this, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So welcome, Drennan.
Like a pod. Like a pod of...
Oh, like whales? Like a pod of whales?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome, Drennan, to the Wrestling Nerds Radio Network Internet Championship lineage.
We're sorry.
I was going to say, you now share a title that has been worn by Izzy and Effie and Snow and
Lindsay
Dorado, though he'll never admit it.
No, he'll never admit it. QT Marshall, who
will admit it.
Who will admit it because
he was the first to throw it in the trash. A giant panda once.
Jason Hanley. Yeah. Jason Hanley. Happy birthday. Yeah. You're not watching.
But also a belt that was at one point wrapped into the FIP Heavyweight Championship. So, yeah.
There we go.
Moving on.
From happy news to...
Let's talk about the WWE.
Let's suck the air out of the room.
Excuse me just a moment.
Need some alcohol for that, Rick?
The amount of no sugar that I take into my system on a regular basis, that's pretty much alcohol to me. The WWE had themselves a week.
Yeah. So we took an extra 2 weeks to do the show because there was nothing to talk about. There really was nothing to talk about 2 weeks ago.
We didn't want to bitch about Crown Jewel.
It was literally just us bitching about Crown Jewel again and again and again.
And waiting
for nothing there was no progress in it.
And waiting for the Punk Pro show to happen to find out who our new champion was going to be.
And then the floodgates opened. And lots of things happened.
So
let's talk about the second worst news of the week.
Yes. Depending on how you look at
it.
The worst news of the week, bar none, is
real, actual human news.
Yeah, is the fact that Roman Reigns, our local boy, Pensacola.
There you go.
What is Joe's last name? I can't think.
NY.
NY.
Yeah. He's part of that family.
Actually had to, if you don't know, and you must be living under a rock or just tuning in.
If you're listening, how are you listening to this podcast?
Could be my mom.
Okay. Mrs. Rick's mom.
Madam Rick.
Carolyn?
Carolyn.
There
you go. Look at you.
I see Facebook. I use Facebook. I'm one of the 3 left.
Anyway. I don't have any more. Facebook has all of my information.
Yeah,
it's not like they can take more. You can't take negative amounts. Anyway.
I mean, they listen to my work conversations just across the room enough, so. Fact, they do. Anyway.
Okay.
To explain to your mom what happened.
So, Joe, more commonly known as Roman Reigns, came out Monday to start Monday Night Raw with a promo. Mm-hmm. As is normally the case, Monday Night Raw tends to start with promos, especially promos of their current champions. That is the stinkiest burp I've ever done.
Except when it was Brock, because he couldn't be bothered.
Well, I mean, Anyway, Roman came out and told everybody, hey, I'm dropping the belt. I gotta go. I got this little thing called leukemia.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. By the way, I've had it for the past 11 years. Yeah.
And
apparently nobody knew.
Yeah, well.
Nobody, like maybe Vince, but like nobody knew. The announcers didn't know. The Dean and Seth didn't know. The production people didn't, like, Roman came out, like, everybody in the show knew that Roman was gonna cut a promo, but they didn't know what it was about. So, like, he's walking down to the ring in average Joe clothes,
jeans and a t-shirt,
jeans and a t-shirt, not garbage non-match Roman gear, and Michael Cole's like, blah blah blah, crown jewel, blah blah blah. Like, it's the Universal Champ, and then
everyone use your Owen voice, or as we'll call it now, your Roman voice. So Roman Reigns is gone from wrestling.
Yeah.
We wish him an incredibly difficult battle, which we hope he wins because he's a very strong, big
course,
dude.
Leukemia
ain't nothing to laugh at.
Nope.
And if I may,
okay,
let us stop for just a moment.
Okay.
With the
pump the brakes.
Yeah, pump the brakes just a moment and wish, of course, Joe a speedy
of course, and
great recovery. Now that we've moved that just to the side for a moment, hey, how about the WWE could go fuck itself for making money off of this, huh? Because, like, all over Twitter, it's been like Roman Reigns, big announcement, like Crucial Catch Month, and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, we're doing this, huh? We're gonna go ahead. Like, there's picking the bones, and then there's ripping a man's arm off while he's still alive in order to.
What are you doing? I'm still alive. Give that back.
It's.
I'm not dead yet. Give me my arm.
They're already creating, like, a posthumous, like, relationship for a still very alive human being.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me that WWE was gonna, like, capitalize on this. They're gonna.
It surprises me.
I don't know. I'm not nothing.
Like,
The WWE shocks me.
Is there nothing sacred?
No.
He comes out. He doesn't even. It's not. You can't even say he cut a promo. Because
he didn't cut a promo. He
just said what's going on in his life.
Yeah, he said what's going on. Oh God, I saw there was saw it on Twitter. It was a GIF of him right before he dropped the belt. He announced he was dropping the belt because he's got leukemia. And so the crowd it's just everything's still kind of normal.
Yeah.
And you can kind of see he's a little bit like you can see he's a little sad. And there's a moment where the crowd's booing him because
it's Roman. Yeah.
It's Roman, so we're gonna boo him. And he just sits there and he just sort of like looks out into the crowd and he lets out a little smirk because he's gonna. It's like that. It's
I'm about to murder all of you.
Well, yeah, it was just that sort of like I'm gonna miss this and like oh God, I'm just like I'm on Twitter. I think I retweeted. I was like, who got all of these onions and why are you cutting them under my nose?
Should this have been handled the way it was?
I don't know. How do you handle that? How do you handle that? This isn't like Daniel Bryan has if Daniel Bryan gets hit in the head again, he could, he could be paralyzed or whatever.
Oh, that doesn't stop anyone.
No, this is like, hey guys, I might die soon. Like, like my body's gonna eat itself, and I might not be here. I might not get to go to WrestleMania as a fan because I might be dead. Peace. Like, there's, like, I don't know.
The thing that like the reason why I had to stop paying attention to all this is they come out, Seth and Dean come out and they do the Shield
fucking like and
they're
all just crying.
Yeah, Seth he's just like Tyler Black, Seth, whatever.
Colby.
He's just sitting there like, how am I even here right now?
Yeah.
This to me was like
that was the saddest. Like, well obviously not the saddest part.
For me, it was reliving the 10 bells for Eddie.
Oh yeah,
and then watching Benoit like just completely break down on, and I'm just I can't do this again.
And then they have the Shield do their sad fist bump, and then they cut. Then they like they cut to Renee, and they're like, "So Renee, what are your husband's best friend like?" Like not as crass as I'm doing it, but you're just like, ugh. And then unfortunately, it took Roman having leukemia for them to put together a really great episode of Raw.
Yeah.
Where a lot of things happened. Yeah. It is always when the WWE is backed into a corner that they do their best work.
Well, when you force change, change happens.
Yeah. And, yeah.
How do you feel about it?
I mean, it's obviously it's terrible and it's sad and I'm being a human, unlike a lot of wrestling fans. I'm being a human, and I'm disregarding any negative feelings about the Roman Reigns character, and that's
Well, we on this show specifically have been big proponents of Roman Reigns.
I mean, I've never been a huge fan, but I don't have a problem with him.
In the last year, he's put together incredible matches. I think ever since burying the Undertaker, he's been like, okay, now I can actually wrestle again.
Yeah.
All right. Ugh. Before we continue on that train, let's talk about a controversial subject.
Okay.
A subject that if you're not very versed on it, and start spouting off shit on a Facebook message group, you might end up deleting yourself from existence when forced with reality that you're an idiot.
Yeah. I would say this is the meat. This is the meat of the show this week.
The WWE, as properly predicted by yours truly, looked at the situation in Saudi Arabia. All of the businesses basically going, we don't want to deal with a fascist totalitarian regime that is murdering journalists that speak out against them, and said, nah, bro, we need that coin. Shawn Michaels came out of retirement. Fuck this shit.
Yeah.
We're going.
Yeah.
Never mind the fact that...
Do you see the photo of MBS and Khashoggi's
his son? Yeah, his son, who is literally a prisoner in his own country.
The gun is just off frame.
You can see it in his ribs if you look closely. Yeah. But no, this is where, what I find most abhorrent about all of this is somehow, some way, this became a partisan issue in our country where it's okay for a business to do business with Saudi Arabia. And you know what? We're a capitalist society. It is. I have no problem with it. I think it's a very bad idea that will create endless blowback, and no amount of money that you make will sustain the amount of damage that you're doing to your product by doing this. This was already seen by hardcore fans like us, who granted aren't your core base anymore.
No, we certainly aren't.
As really kind of awkward to have Shawn Michaels come out of retirement for a paycheck. Now, I can appreciate why he's doing it. I'd do the same thing. I'm no asshole.
Yeah.
But in light of everything that's happening, from Roman Reigns coming out and having to leave because he has a life-threatening illness, to the fact that Saudi Arabia wasn't really on the up and up to begin with, to now this absolute, I guess it's not an absolute fact, is it? To this very likely fact that a group of Saudi Arabia hitmen flew to Turkey and coordinated a assassination of a journalist whose biggest crime was speaking out against the Crown Prince, MBS.
MBS, yeah.
And that was his biggest crime, was he was a journalist. And then so now we have a partisan issue of Republicans, and again, this blows my mind. Conservatives, we're not even going to call them Republicans, because I don't refer to them as Republicans and Democrats. I call them the Conservative Party, and I call them the Liberal Party, because the names don't mean anything.
Yeah.
There's a group of conservatives in our country who believe that this is a non-issue.
Yeah.
A lot of them are what's known as evangelical conservatives, which means that they value the teachings of Christ above all else. And they think that this is a non-issue. Meanwhile, non-evangelical conservatives...
While I would say out the other side of their mouth, they would condemn the majority of the people
yes,
from that region for not believing in the teachings of Jesus Christ. Yeah.
While non-evangelical conservatives through the rest of the spectrum all look at this and be like, no, we can't do business with this country, or if you do, we're going to go away from you.
Yeah. Lindsey Graham.
Yeah. Lindsey Graham is always a hard body.
Well, but even him,
So why? Okay, that's enough politics. Why did the WWE agree to do Crown Jewel? What is their reason?
For money.
For money.
For money.
Do you fault them for doing this for money?
No, but I do fault them for continuing to take the money when
there is a significant
morality comes into it.
There is a significant lack of morals here.
My other side of it, the side of it that's been really just sort of digging in is that the whole the obvious connections between WWE, Vince McMahon, and Trump going, I don't see I don't see the big deal. Basically saying I don't see his then eventually supposedly he turned around.
His reasoning was basically that of, we have a lot of money tied up in Saudi Arabia.
And I have a lot of money tied up in Saudi Arabia.
Well, the country in general.
I don't have a problem with them because they buy my fucking hotel room.
Fine. So the reasoning for him was that it was a money issue. Again, if you take away the morality, which money has no bearing in morals. Money is money. Business is business. If you take that out of the equation, there's no reason to do this. But the fact that it is about getting paid, can you fault the WWE for doing this? If you take away morality,
no. But I would. You don't want to be the last guy at the table. You
don't. But you're not. There are thousands of businesses that are still very happy to do.
True. We only are really hearing about the ones that.
Well, again, if this is not an issue of,
and I'm not surprised again because it's the whole there's the whole Trump, hotels, Saudi Arabia, Trump, Vince. There's no that part doesn't surprise me.
Too much on the politics of it. This is money. This is about $10 million for one show.
More than 10.
Well, 40 million. I mean, there's a big contract.
Yeah.
I knew, I said this all along, that they would never not pull out of the show. I said that for weeks, that this was absolutely happening. Even before this incident, when people were starting to ratchet up concern that Saudi Arabia is not what we think it is.
Yeah.
I said there's no way. They will absolutely do this show. And ultimately, it's because enough of the fan base will watch.
Yeah.
And most of them will forget or ignore.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a very moral thing to do, but I don't think pro wrestling is very moral. So
pro wrestling and morals have never really gone hand in hand.
I think the outrage that a lot of people are feeling is a general outrage that the country is feeling and a lack of ability to do anything. Yeah. Our hands as pro wrestling fans are tied. Do you want to see the Brothers of Destruction take on DX?
No.
Well, if you did, this is your only way to do it.
Yeah.
You have your opinion, your voice, and this is why you're so mad and so many people in our country are. Your voice right now means nothing because you are not a billionaire.
No, true. Yeah.
You're not a millionaire, you're not a billionaire, you do not have a dog in the fight.
No.
So you could scream as loud as you want, and you could demand justice, and it will never come.
No.
And that's why so many people are so furious. Let's see. Looking at Facebook comments, a good portion of the fans are applauding the decision. Yeah, WWE honors that. Thank you, Roman. That's a great comment. And I'm fine with it because I knew that this was happening. Now, am I fine with the moral standings? Of course not. This is horrific.
Yeah.
Do I think the WWE is doing themselves a great disservice? Yes, but no, because they are positioning themselves more and more every day to be just a fan, allow the line.
The line is definitely the stance is like, we're just keeping our promise. We're just keeping our promise. It was terrible, but we've been going there for 2 decades. We're just gonna stick through it.
And again, it's the WWE. This somehow murder has become a partisan issue. Nike versus WWE. Hear me out. Nike looked around and said, we're going to side with Colin Kaepernick, and we're going to move away from the MAGA hats because we think the future of our business is with people of color, different religious backgrounds, et cetera, et cetera. We're making Colin Kaepernick the face of our company. WWE is looking around, and they're saying, we're going MAGA hat.
Yeah.
And they've been doing this for some
time. Well, they're more
time.
interested in the MAGA hat money than they are... Well, I mean, we're not shilling out money for them. Like, we aren't their market base.
No, we're not.
I mean, I still drop $9.99 a month because I forget that I have this that I have the subscription.
I don't have a particular problem with them running this show because they have made their decision that they are not interested in listening to a very loud but perhaps very small fan base of their group. They care about what's going to make them the most money. Yeah. Doesn't mean I have to enjoy, like, or be part of any WWE events going forward.
No, yeah.
It just means that if I do...
I'm definitely not watching Crown Jewel. Now, my viewership matters dick to them.
Sure.
But...
We went over this during the Greatest Royal Rumble when we had our discussion on that. I said that they can make more money running 4 house shows in Saudi Arabia than they can basically in all of the U.S.
And that is what they do.
Our opinion means literally nothing.
Yeah.
You can't even vote with your dollar.
No.
So you have 2 options. Option A, you could be frustrated and try and hold power accountable, and good luck. I think that's a great idea. It's just not going to work. Or option B, you can sit silently and be furious. I mean, you say, I'm not watching Crown Jewel. Good on you. Why are you still giving the WWE money, though?
Because of their other content. But, yeah.
And because each member of the WWE is an independent contractor, and you want them to have money.
Yeah. But I'm also not blind to the fact that, again, were it not for Greatest Royal Rumble, Crown Jewel, Greatest Royal Rumble 2, the Great Saudi Arabian Bash, every other show that's going to happen over the next 10 years with this deal, were it not for those shows, every 6 months, WWE would be cutting talent like they have always done in the past. There wouldn't be WWE. There wouldn't be 3 shows. Like we'll get to the show. We'll get to why Wednesdays are so great now. But Wednesdays wouldn't be so great if it wasn't for these huge nuts that they get that pay for Brock Lesnar's $2 million appearance and the ungodly amount that they poured onto Shawn Michaels and how
if you really want your product and you are in a podcast business, I suppose, this is how the sausage is made. You can like it or you could not like it. Like, for instance, did you know that Blue Moon or any number of subsidiary smaller beer companies here in Florida, Yuengling and things like that, are actually subsidiaries of Anheuser-Busch?
Yeah, I mean, I think I did know that.
Right.
Yeah.
So you could either drink Blue Moon and know that money's going to a company that you don't respect or like.
Yeah.
Or you don't.
Well, there was an example like last year or so. We were drinking like Caleb's Cola or something. We were like, oh, this is really good. This is great. Ooh, look at that. The 2 days later, it's like, oh, Caleb was Pepsi. Yeah. And like, it's Pepsi.
It's Pepsi.
Yeah.
So you can.
Or even to that end, McDonald's. I still eat at McDonald's. Sure. I literally don't want to see how the sausage is made. And I'm still going to order it on my way to work.
I remember a day and a time, about 10 years ago, if not earlier, where if a company had pulled a stunt like this, people like you and I would have rised up against it and boycotted them or made so much noise that they would have had to have listened. Yeah. And I truly, truly believe the reason why so many people are so furious about this, and as Roman, our friend who wrote in, thank you for the comment, of course. Please feel free to send more comments while we're on the show. We love them.
We love you.
When we do. But the reason why so many people are upset is that there are so many people on the other side, the more vocal mind, maybe the less vocal majority, who think that this is fine.
Yeah. I will say though, when on SmackDown, when Shane was running down the World Cup and they mentioned Crown Jewel, there was definitely a very small, but you could hear it swath of like you could just hear boo when they got. But
look, I'm with you guys. I'm part of the group.
Yeah.
On the same token, what'd you think was going to happen? We now live in a world where you are a billionaire or you're everybody else. Yeah. So until the world changes again, which may happen as soon as next week, literally.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we did drum up all that sympathy with those false flag operations.
Don't tell people. Wait, do you think the amount of protests over the past 10 years has lessened the possible impact of boycott? I think what's happening, thank you again for the comment, Roman. I think what's happening is over the last 10 years, the WWE has shifted gears and has stopped being a company that cares about progressive wrestling and inclusion and is focused
Despite their supposed...
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I think they are focusing specifically content. Yes, exactly. They are the content provider. The WWE is the content provider. Yeah. This is the direction we are going in. You can like it. You can not like it. We know some people do like it. And if you don't like it, we are not concerned. That is the ultimate answer, is they are no longer concerned with what you or I think.
Yeah.
They are going to provide. This is the Roman Reigns... this is the John Cena Roman Reigns game plan, by the way. This is not anything we haven't seen. This is the product we are providing you. We are giving you Roman Reigns as champion. You will like it or you will not like it. We do not care.
Yeah.
We are going to Saudi Arabia because they are giving us billions of dollars. You will like it. You will not like it. We don't care. So the amount of protesting and the amount of general anger and the amount of annoyance that we, the fans, had with this company no longer matters. And honestly, it hasn't mattered in roughly 20 years because John Cena as champion was getting the same amount of negative buzz as this is now.
Yeah, it's the big difference between with the WWE running in Saudi Arabia versus if, maybe not Ring of Honor because they've got a big evil corporation behind them, but like if... small wrestling company, small popular indie decided to run in Saudi Arabia.
A very large indie, ROH, had a person on their show here in Florida that got them in endless amounts of shit because of his criminal past.
Oh, yeah.
So, but even that wasn't enough, was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it is frustrating. It is aggravating. It is maddening. But unfortunately, this is just the way it is. I love you for saying I'm not going to watch Crown Jewel, and in the same breath mentioning how great Wednesday nights are.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem, Jesse. You are not Aubrey Stitterson.
No. I mean, I'll admit the hypocrisy and the fact that, I'm not going to watch Crown Jewel, but I'm going to watch NXT UK instead.
Right. And therein lies the problem.
Yeah.
You have been told beyond a shadow of a doubt that your opinion means dick. And you're still willing to pony up to, belly up to the bar and order a drink anyway. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm actually saying I understand.
Yeah.
But we can't reasonably have this argument until you admit that this was a deal breaker for you. And Roman, to answer your question completely, that's the true answer.
Yeah.
There is not enough people, there are not enough Aubrey Stittersons in the world who are looking around at the WWE product, knowing that Linda McMahon is part of Trump's cabinet and administration, and saying...
But seemingly like the most logical...
she's doing the job she was asking up. I mean, you don't hear about freaking, what's his nuts, the head of HUD who's cutting money endlessly anymore. But whatever. Just because she's not in the news doesn't mean she's a good person.
That's true.
But the fact is, it doesn't matter!
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Only one guy I know cut the cord. And he's a major name in the industry of comic books.
Yeah.
And he said, fuck this shit, I'm out. You haven't. No. I sure as shit haven't. Roman hasn't. Our buddy Roman, and Roman Reigns sort of had, but whatever. Yeah. People we know and love and appreciate, Chad, the IndyCast, Zach, everybody we know in pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Our youth outreach advisor, Michaela.
Yeah.
Frankie the ref. Tony the ref. Endless humans who all agree what happened in Saudi Arabia is abhorrent and cannot go on. You gonna watch wrestling? Fuck, I'm not watching Crown Jewel. Hey, did you hear about the pay-per-view coming up after this Sunday though?
You're not wrong.
Evolution? Our bestie, Izzy, and her family are currently at Evolution getting ready for what should be the biggest night in professional wrestling for women
It's not.
Ever.
Well, it's not.
On paper. On paper.
Not even. I don't know.
In theory.
In theory. Until you look at the card.
Meanwhile, it's a week away from Crown Jewel, though, which is the most horrific thing ever, right?
Yeah.
So here we all are. We're all sitting here. We're all harumphing and... You gonna watch? Yeah, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
So that's our segue. Let's talk about this Sunday, WWE Evolution. Man, they did a good job neutering the shit out of that show, didn't they?
No, I believe they call that spaying.
Oh. Okay.
So Rick, I'm gonna throw a hypothetical out there. Let's say you have an ungodly amount of money provided to you by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia to put on any sort of programming you want, and you decide you're going to put on an all-women's pay-per-view. You have 3 months to do it.
Okay.
What are you going to do? Are you gonna promote it? Are you gonna book it in a positive way? Or are you going to ignore it and put together the worst card you could possibly?
Who is my fan base that I'm trying to make money off of?
That is a good question. It's a good question.
New comment.
The
moment you have, you two have talked about WWE Evolution more than they promoted it. Yeah, over the past few weeks. Yeah. We're mentioning WWE Evolution like 10 times in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is probably
no.
twice.
I will say the WWE, they'll mention it to hide. Their promotion of it is the graphics. They'll throw up graphics. This Sunday it brought to you by K Jewelers, I think. K Jewelers is sponsoring Evolution because women, you get it, women buy jewelry.
They like jewelry.
Yeah, and then there was another sponsor. I don't remember. It's probably 2K19.
Dillards.
Yeah, they're sponsoring themselves. It's their promotion of it is, hey Carmella, what do you think about Evolution? Hey Alexa Bliss, what do you think about Evolution? Like that's it. It's just they're going up to somebody and saying, how important is this show? How important is this show? It's important, right? What do you think? You're a woman. How do you feel? What do you think about this?
You don't have a penis. Tell me everything.
You don't have a penis. What is your opinion? But it's
okay. So you asked me a question.
Yeah.
I have endless money to book a show. Do I really care though, or am I doing this simply to try and wrangle in a couple extra?
Well, also to try to hide the fact that you're you try to make up for the fact that your women aren't boarding a plane to Saudi Arabia.
Twice in 1 year now.
Yeah.
Twice in 1 year this is happening.
I always loved it. Everyone thought that Evolution was a response to Greatest Royal Rumble. It's not. It's a response to the Crown Jewel.
Yeah. When they originally pitched the idea of Evolution, I thought it was really cool.
It is cool.
Because
it is cool.
I was at the Mae Young Classic, both of them.
Yeah.
And watching...
Did you go last year?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Watching these young women, not really young. Sorry.
Well, some of them are young.
Watching these professional athletes do their craft in front of a crowd that really cares.
Yeah.
Like, I went to an Orlando Pride game. That's the professional women's league. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was amazing to see this. And as a man, especially a man in my mid-30s, you forget. I'm a white... Yeah, I'm a Jew. But I'm a white male living in America. I basically have never had to concern myself with anything.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah. So you look around...
Even further, I'm blonde and blue-eyed.
Yeah. You look around and you go, people here are like visibly like emotional watching this. Like this is important. Mm-hmm. This matters.
Yeah.
And you forget that as a white male in America. You forget that you have all this privilege. It's only when you put yourselves in these situations where you see that people have struggled. Women have struggled for a very long time in this country, and you only get to see that at very rare occasions. And this could have been one of them. The promotion of the main event, which is their new best thing going help me out.
Ronda.
Thank you. Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. And good on them for getting Ronda.
Hey, Ronda's turned into an amazing wrestler.
Yeah, she's
still haven't seen a match of hers. Ronda has turned
There's
into...
only like 3.
Yeah, Ronda has turned into this incredible performer.
She's great, honestly. Her promos are... the content of the promo notwithstanding, she cut the promo very well recently when they let her write her own, or Heyman helped her write it or something. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss is the best heel in wrestling.
Yeah, she's not on the show anymore.
Yeah, no, concussions are a thing.
Yeah.
In general, I was not excited by the idea of Nikki Bella being the main combatant for.
But you alluded to it, and you're right. I mean, like and apparently it worked. I think I read that once they really started pushing the fact that Nikki Bella's in the main event, tickets went up. I mean, yeah, I think I had to remind myself what audience this is for.
Right.
This isn't
They're
for
not-
this isn't for us progressive wrestling fans where we would shill out money to go see Tony Storm versus the Mae Young finals. Tony Storm versus Io Shirai.
That's going to be an insane match.
Like, there are matches on this show that are going to be great. Baszler and Sane is going to be great again. The Mae Young Classic Finals is going to be great again. Becky Charlotte's going to be great. Honestly, it's going to be a really great match. But then, like, as a show that's all about, like, look how far women's wrestling has come, they're really doing a lot to that. They're doing a lot of the old shit that.
How many of those women that you mentioned have been posing in scantily clad bikini shots for the WWE?
I would say probably. I mean, I haven't been paying attention to it, but probably the majority.
Right.
Them.
So not Shayna, not Io,
No.
not not Carrie.
Yeah.
But the previous generation.
Yeah.
Most recently, up until and including up until this year.
Yeah.
I love Becky Lynch. I think she's an amazing performer. We both love Charlotte. We watched basically her entire evolution.
Yeah.
There's of course Sasha Banks and
Bailey.
Yeah, and up until this new batch of female performer, Toni Storm, great example. We're still seeing the old mentality, right?
Yeah.
Like
it has definitely been lessened, but
Alexa Bliss had this great. I think it was on. I want to say it was on a recent of Table of Three.
Okay.
And I saw it on a. I saw it on a Botchamania.
Oh, okay.
Where she was explaining how at one point during a match her tie up got like snapped and she had to like quickly retie it into her hair.
Okay.
But part of the story is that the tie up got tied into her hair and she almost ripped her hair out. Yeah. But she said the three women
or her extensions.
Yeah, well, the three women, which were Alexa and Medusa and one other woman whose name I'm forgetting. And
Lita or Ivory or somebody like that. Yeah.
They were talking about how, as a professional female performer, you have one tie up, and then you have another one on top of it, and sometimes you have three or four, and then there's glue and there's tape involved. And I'm thinking to myself, and I'm like, but Alexa Bliss is this amazing performer. And then I remember her debut in NXT, and I went, oh, right, she was a sex symbol.
Yeah.
And that was as recently as 5 years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
So I forgot.
Yeah, she was cute cheerleader girl.
She was cute cheerleader
pixie girl. Yeah.
And this is Alexa Bliss, who is considered one of the best female wrestlers on the planet right now.
Yeah.
And then I look at Ronda Rousey and I look at Shayna Baszler and I'm like, oh, look! They look like fighters.
Yeah.
They wear sports bras and trunks or pants or whatever. And I'm like, hey, those. And then I look over at Charlotte and I say, you're wearing a bodice. And I'm like, and then I look over at Becky Lynch, bodice. And I'm like, okay, I forgot. I'm sorry, everybody. I thought for a second that these women were actually like professional fighters. My bad. And that's where we are.
Yeah. No, women's. The evolution hasn't evolved as far as the WWE would like you to believe.
Oh, no. This is evolution as far as the WWE is concerned.
Okay.
I've mentioned 4 women now. Io, Carrie, Shayna, and Ronda, who are not known for just being voluptuous candy corn for us old white guys to leer at.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's 4. 4, Jesse Long.
I mean, then they're going to have a battle royal with the rest of them.
They're all, and then you know, it's, when you take a step back, they brought in Chelsea Green.
Did they have to?
Yeah, evidently. When you take a step back and you look at the crop of
was it worth it, Chelsea?
I mean, listen, she's getting paid, dude.
Yeah.
When you take a step back and look at the crop of women, it's not that long removed.
No, it really isn't. Shush, Jetty. I don't care. I said it. No, yeah. It was not that long ago. The Divas era was not so long ago. Yeah. Roman, what you got to say now?
Hey, if you go their sex symbols too, they can also wrestle. That's technically yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
We started as they are purely sex symbols, and now we have moved on to well, they can wrestle though.
Yeah. They're really hot, but they can wrestle. Yeah.
Look at the evolutionary.
Yeah.
They're gonna evolve into Pikachu next. Raichu coming, baby. It is funny that certain women haven't had to do that, and who are those women?
Yeah.
And Shayna and Ronda and Ronda's boys, or her gals, I guess.
Her gals, yeah.
Her team. Let's move on.
Moving on.
What is Hardy Halloween?
What time is it?
It is 9:23.
All right, cool. So we can wrap up the show in general in a bit. What's the rest? Oh, I wanted to touch on the fact that, again, a little bit of hypocrisy. The Hardys are having a Halloween special after Evolution.
Okay, that's enough.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm really looking forward to it. They're doing a compound special on the network for like Halloween, and it's like the pilot of basically like a Hardy scripted show on the network. Yeah, and I'm fine with that. I really hope that Matt State doesn't wrestle again, because again, I care about the health of the human versus him wrestling. And if he can just make stupid shit in his house, I'm fine with that.
So, Jesse Long, we're going to wrap the show.
We're going to wrap it up
with your explanation. This is your show.
Yes.
Why are Wednesdays so great, Jesse Long?
Well, unfortunately, we arrived at the conclusion that Wednesdays are great because of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. But that notwithstanding, man, Wednesdays are really great for wrestling right now.
Why is that?
Because we've got like 4 really great wrestling shows at the exact same time. We got 205 Live. We got, or I guess NXT UK, which airs at like 3 in the afternoon. Then we got 205 Live. Then we got NXT. And then we got the Mae Young Classic's kind of done. So we got these 3 really great shows. Mm-hmm. Oh, they're so good. They are really good, and they really make that hypocrisy like a little bit easier to swallow. Crown Jewel's fucking terrible, but Hideo Itami and Mustafa Ali had a really, really great match this past week. It was real good.
So is that enough, Jesse Long?
I'd say it probably is.
Is it going to have to be?
I think it's going to have to be.
Fair enough. All right. Do you have any? Let's see. We got about 6 minutes left. Any final thoughts for this week's episode of Wrestle Crush Whenever?
I don't.
What is our lesson, Jesse?
I think the lesson was what you said. Pretty much your rant earlier is the lesson. Just we touched on the hypocrisy of the whole of the hating Crown Jewel, but at the same time dropping $9.99 a month. I'm still doing it to watch the content that I want to watch.
Yeah, I mean it is pretty easy to cancel that subscription.
It is really easy, but I still don't want to do it.
Right.
And realizing, the sausage that I really like and where it comes from. And it might be really tasty, but there's still a lot of horse meat in it. But
you can taste the hooves.
You can really taste a lot of hoof.
Horton eats a hoof. All right, Jesse. I'll take it from here.
All right. Oh,
wait. Some people will like it. Some won't. Be it WWE, Evolution, Indies, or wrestling in general. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it's about what you like versus what you don't like. And you have the opportunity to tune in or not tune in. Our buddy Roman tuned into our entire episode today.
Yay, we love you.
Thank you. More people who have been listening to us since joining the Wrestling Nerds Radio Network than ever, and we appreciate all of you out there. We especially want to give a shout out to, again, our new champion, Drennan. Way to go. Also, thanks, of course, to our buddies at the IndieCast. Thank you, Zach and Chad and Luna, and help me with
Shelly.
Thank you. I always forget Shelly's name, even though I know who she is.
Yep.
I promise. Looking forward to the next episode of The Golden Guys featuring me.
Of course.
And Chad.
Featuring Rick!
Chad. I don't do any of the work for any of this shit. No. For those wondering, Chad does all of the recording. Zach does all the editing. This is all Jesse's
It's
gear.
all me.
It's my house. I get to dictate where we do the shows.
Same for those two jerks too.
No, those are just over the podcast. Anyway.
Okay.
Oh, and Tom is still calling you out every week.
Okay, yeah, I know.
I think that's hilarious. It's adorable, even though we have 7 episodes left.
Yeah.
So, a friendly reminder.
We're doing the show next year. We're still doing the show next year, and he's not. I win. The end.
A friendly reminder. It doesn't matter when. It doesn't matter where. There's always time for Wrestle Crush whenever.
3, 2, 1, 76 jerks.
For the American Dadass Jesse Long, I am the Sussman Rick Sussman. And until next time, we remind you that, well,
Ethan!